Dr. Kizza Besigye's health continues to be of serious concern. I visited him 2 times last week, and he told me that he has developed a reaction to his prison conditions, an allergic reaction that causes him to cough endlessly. He loses energy and loses the ability to speak. Isolation. He's not allowed also to talk with other prisoners.
What?
Or to step outside his little, he's contained in a small cell.
Imagine, that's a prison within a prison.
He can't go and play football with others. He can't pray in church with others. He can't.
Now you're taking away recreational freedoms of a prisoner. This is the...
Not even walk through others and greet and shake hands with another prisoner. He's guarded 24 hours by General Muhoozi himself and his soldiers.
Wow.
Because that prison is a prisoner under Uganda prisons, but I also know that in the prison itself are military men guarding him.
And yes, indeed, presenting to you from these United States of America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you're watching me and at whatever time you might watch this conversation. My name is Mordecai Morisa, and you're welcome to this feed, Mordecai Morisa Live. Exactly. A happy Sunday to all of you that are tuning in. If you're going to church, I wish you a wonderful time as you praise the Lord. And if you're staying home with your loved ones, it is fine. I hope you enjoy. And if you're not a Christian, if you're at work, I wish you all the best as well. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me make a pitch to you right now. Please consider subscribing to our feed, Mordecai Morisa Live on YouTube. You can as well subscribe to our Facebook page, Mordecai Morisa. Follow the Twitter or X platform, Mordecai Morisa, and as well Mordecai Morisa on TikTok. Ready now to go? Let's do this. We continue to observe, to follow updates about the conditions of Dr. Kizza Besigye. They're telling us that is at a breaking point. What we're going to be discussing tonight. I think the mission of the Museveni regime is to kill Dr. Kizza Besigye softly. Now, just like you watched those clips where the wife to Dr. Kizza Besigye, and this is Winnie Byanyima, made explosive revelations about the conditions under which her husband is being held. Like you listen there. She alleges that Muhoozi Kainerugaba personally, Muhoozi Kainerugaba, who happens to be the commander of our defense forces and the son to Yoweri Museveni, personally deployed a special unit of soldiers to keep constant watch over Dr. Kizza Besigye, subjecting him to extraordinary surveillance beyond that of ordinary prison security. So what does this mean? That there's a prison within a prison. Dr. Kizza Besigye was placed in a prison within a prison. According to Byanyima, despite of the presence of regular security or prison guards that are tasked with overseeing inmates, Dr. Kizza Besigye is being treated as a prisoner apart, confined in a special cell, and is barred from interacting with fellow inmates. How disturbing. This is violating his rights as a prisoner. And he's been denied basic human contact and recreational freedoms afforded to other prisoners. Like she mentioned, the rest of others are able to go outside and play soccer, football, I should say. America's influence over my mind. Football, not soccer. She contended that these harsh and isolating conditions are not accidental, obviously, but calculated effort designed to break his spirit and ultimately endanger and his life. These are no hyperbole. I mean, we have seen Muhoozi Kainerugaba gloating in the suffering of Dr. Kizza Besigye, gloating in the abduction and torturing of innocent people, wanting to kill Bobby Wine, to behead him. I mean, so Byanyima made all these startling claims ahead of a planned mass to pray for Dr. Kizza Besigye and other political prisoners, more especially in this continuity of lawlessness under the regime of none other than Yoweri Museveni. And the gathering is going to be on Monday, which is expected to draw heightened attention to the plight of the opposition figures and the intensity of scrutiny of government's treatment of dissenting voices. It's going to be at Lubaga Cathedral, I think. So let's go on and listen to what she says, and from there, I'll be able to give my commentary. Sounds like I already did.
That on Monday, 23rd, at 2 p.m., we will gather at Lubaga Cathedral, and the Archbishop of Kampala Diocese, His Grace Paul Semogere, will lead us in a Holy Mass to pray for Dr. Kizza Besigye and all prisoners and the sick in Uganda, to hold them up in the Catholic faith. These that are suffering today, who have people without charge for many years, 15 years, I met one man in prison. It is for suffering families whose loved ones have been taken away. Yesterday, I asked the Secretary General of NUP,
Listen to this.
David Louis Wongoya, to give me a list of families, of names of people who are missing or in prison from among their supporters. I was expecting to get maybe a list of 30 names, or if many, 50 names, so that I take them to this Mass and we pray for them, we read them. I got a list of more than 600 people.
Take all the time you have and think about that. She was like, hey, David Louis Lubongoya, do you mind sharing with me names of families of those that have been abducted, victims of the abduction, torture, and the death? She expected how many? 50 or 40? David Louis Lubongoya provided a list of over 600 names. Now, these are the names we know. We have reports of people who have been abducted. We will never see them again. Many of whom that do not get to be mentioned, that are, we've had situations where they say somebody has been kidnapped or killed and his body vanished, taken away by these thugs that usually endanger the lives of these people. So think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Over 600 families destroyed. What is their crime? Opposing Yoweri Museveni's regime, who continues to portray himself as a Democrat, a liberal Democrat. And I don't understand, please explain to me like a kid, why do these so-called strongmen usually want to put on a persona of a Democrat? If you're going to be a tyrant, please don't even get rid of all the pretense. Let us know you for what you are. I mean, he's a brutal dictator who wants to portray as, it sounds like you're not proud of what you practice. That's why you have to put on this facade of a persona, a Democrat.
And he said to me that the list is longer, it keeps growing every day. There are people they don't know yet who are missing. So it is a crisis in our country. We are coming together to pray at a time of crisis. This is not normal. The thing is that the violence, the militarism, the misogyny, the hatred and abuse of women has been going on and continues to be normalized. We are coming to pray to say that this is not right, this is not normal, we want it to change. We want a peaceful country, a democratic country. You see, since we started these elections and Dr. Kizza Besigye decided to run, the first time he ran, 2001.
Listen to this.
After that election, he fled into exile. He spent 5 years in exile. That was not normal. The next election, 2006, for that one, he spent half the campaigning time in prison, facing the same charges he's facing today, treason. Even rape was there. Half the time in the presidential election, the main candidate was in prison. That was not normal. The next election, the third one, 2011, he was assaulted. I had to take leave from my job in New York to come here to evacuate him to Nairobi to be treated after he was physically assaulted, almost made blind. That was not normal. Should I go on? The fourth election. He was held here after the election, prisoner in his own home, unable to step outside for months. We had to fight and fight and fight for him to be able to step out and be normal. That was not normal.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am sorry to pause here, but look at what has been done, and you wonder how we end up into this chapter of darkness. I mean, this has been Museveni's modus operandi. 2001, forced Dr. Kizza Besigye in exile. 2006, opened up trumped-up charges of rape and treason against Dr. Kizza Besigye. Spent almost this campaigning season in prison. Then 2011, he was assaulted, I think was around Murago area where he was pepper sprayed. That spectacle, I don't want to even watch it today. Then 2016, he was placed under house arrest. And then we come to 2021 where people were killed in broad daylight. You have 2026 where it is not even now, there's not even any shame when it comes to lawlessness and impunity. This doesn't sound like isolated incidents. This sounds like a pattern and practice of the Museveni regime. This is how they think they should handle their political opponents. How did we get to this point? And this is why, up to this point, you have the military deployed at Bobi Wine's home. Because their plan was we either abduct him and take him to prison while the voting is going on, or we place him under house arrest. And now I think I've heard allegations of treason from a minister in Museveni's government. How sickening is our country? Jeez.
I'll see this young man, Lubaga Cathedral. He comes out of an election and has to flee, hide. Finally, now we have heard him speaking from Geneva. He runs away. His wife, Barbara Itungo, is assaulted in her home.
Imagine.
And the head of the army proudly displays a picture of her in a humiliating position, like sitting and crawling on her bare floor.
How sad.
Her house ransacked, and a soldier over her head. She told a painful story of her humiliation. Sexual assault, pulling off her clothes and leaving her exposed in front of tens of soldiers. She fell unconscious, had to be hospitalized. This is after an election. These are not elections.
Exactly.
The whole world is condemning them now. The violence, the fraud, the intimidation and threats, the humiliation. So, these are not normal things. Our country is not in a good state. I chose to go to pray because that's how I was raised, to take problems to the Creator.
And I know there's going to be a section of Ugandans who really mock the power of the prayer, but people who believe in prayer, it actually works. And usually, I've always said those who condemn or mock some strategies, would you please avail your strategies? Show us how best can we bring this dark chapter to an end if you mock all these strategies. Or you are good at mocking insinuating how people are weak in their ways, yet you cannot provide not a step.
And to come together with others to find solutions. That's the purpose of this mass. Dr. Kizza Besigye's health continues to be of serious concern. I visited him 2 times last week, and he told me that he has developed a reaction to his prison conditions, an allergic reaction that causes him to cough endlessly. He loses energy and loses the ability to speak. Wow. That's why when some people go to see him, he's unable to meet them. He was very low on energy and his voice goes. This is of concern. We have continued to ask for bail 4 times. It is denied. Bail can be granted to an ADF leader, a self-declared rebel group in Congo. Its leader, Jamil Mukulu, was captured, was given bail. But Besigye, who is a peaceful political leader, is denied bail. We continue to ask for bail because those conditions in jail continue to undermine his health, to make him weaker and weaker. And unless the threats of General Muhoozi are really their intention, and I think I now believe that that is his intention, to kill.
No, I mean, there was not even a modicum of doubt in me when he says he wants to kill people. There's no doubt. I mean, who says that in public? I mean, he means it. Muhoozi Kainerugaba is the one who brought us the photos of Eddie Sebufu, famous known as Eddie Mutwe. And he was gloating in the torturing of Eddie Mutwe, claiming, oh, I'm teaching him Runyankore. So when he says he wants to kill people, there's not even a shred of doubt in me. This is what he wants to do. And if people doubt what he wants, I mean, I don't know what kind of planet you're living on.
Dr. Kizza Besigye, then this is a plan to continue weakening him in jail and end his life.
Exactly.
We are concerned. We are concerned about the continued threats to his life, concerned about denial of bail, and his weakening as he continues to live under those miserable conditions, as well as isolation. He's not allowed also to talk with other prisoners.
What?
Or to step outside his little, he's contained in a small cell.
Imagine, that's a prison within a prison.
He can't go and play football with others. He can't pray in church with others. He can't.
Now you're taking away recreational freedoms of a prisoner. This is the...
Not even walk through others and greet and shake hands with another prisoner. He's guarded 24 hours by General Muhoozi himself and his soldiers.
Wow.
Because that prison is a prisoner, is a prisoner under Uganda prisons, but I also know that in the prison itself, military men guarding him.
What?
When he steps out, they follow him.
Wow.
When he was at the clinic, they were there. I tried to confront one of them to ask them, why are you here? You are not a prison officer. He ran, and I took her picture of her back as she was running. So it's a situation where he's a captive of the army under General Muhoozi and General Museveni, and they are aware that his conditions are hurting him, but they want him to keep suffering. They want him dead.
Exactly. There's no doubt about that. That's why they want to kill him. And I've never understood. Look, I am naive in topics of dictatorships, and I was reading origins of totalitarianism. My flag fell. Yeah, I was reading origins of Now you have these self-appointed patriots. It's going to be like, Monica, why do you have an American flag? Shut up. Okay. Like I was saying, I'm a little naive in this dictatorship and totalitarianism. I mean, I don't understand how a regime of like that of Museveni wants to present itself as these strong, tough guys, yet they panic at the existence of one politician like Dr. Kizza Besigye or Bobby Wine. I've always argued, and again, I might be a little naive again in this area, but I've always argued that if Museveni is thought to be this tough, like some of his people usually want to convince us, why doesn't he show this toughness, that strong guy persona, to folks who plunder the country, who have stolen billions of money from national coffers? Why doesn't he arrest people who break the law, who visit injustices onto people with impunity? Why? Because that persona of a strong guy is just a facade, a veneer. He's not as tough as he wants you to assume him, which is a really, 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 really sad thing. I was trying to find something I wanted to show you here. I can't find that video. But that's the condition of Dr. Kizza Besigye. A prisoner within a prison. No, actually, yes. Yeah, he's a prisoner. They created a prison within a prison. A special cell for him, where he's denied all basic rights that should be accorded to an inmate. How did we get to this point? I think it was these folks thinking that maybe Museveni will have an epiphany and probably change, switch from these dictatorial tendencies that started showing around the 90s. They kept giving him benefit of the doubt, thinking, oh, maybe he might actually care about democracy. Maybe he cares about human rights. Now, this monster that was fed is extremely ginormous, that there's no way you can cage it. It's now starting to eat some of people that fed it. The time is, especially if you're serving the government, the question is, do you know that it's coming to you? Of course, when you're clouded, blinded by power, you're not able to see this. You think you're in comfort because you're driven by the height of selfishness. You don't care about the next generation, the state of your country. And it's funny, folks who commit these crimes, they usually hide under these belief, that, oh, all governments do this kind of evil, so we're not any different. This is not a special, isolated government. They all do this. Imagine that. Imagine if in order to justify your criminality, you have to be like, as long as the neighbor does the same. It is a philosophy of whataboutism. How about those guys in Kenya? Don't they kill people? How about this government? So you pride in that. And others actually who have the Machiavellian concept of leadership, they think, oh, leadership is all about violence and coercion. There's a place for that. I'm not ruling it out. And violence and coercion, onto whom? Violence, like we see the Uganda People's Defense Force committing against the Ugandan innocent people. That's unjustified. That's illegal, immoral, unethical. Violence can be employed in situations of war. That's justified. For example, if we're attacked by our neighbor or any country, soldiers who would dedicate themselves to fighting for us would be held as heroes. That's justified violence. So this coercion, they usually, and again, like I said, they use violence because that's the only way they know they can make excuses for it. It is sad. Anyways, if you're going to be on this mass on Monday, I would ask if you're in Kampala or if you're in Uganda, please, if you want to travel, please travel and attend this mass and pray for those people, our brothers and sisters, our mothers and fathers, grannies who are breaking. Many of them who have been abducted, tortured, killed, and the families they've lost, they're going to be there. In the end, do not lose hope. I'll show you these words as I close this chapter of this conversation. We must accept the finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. Words of MLK. In the end, change will come. Absolutely. Sooner or later. In the final analysis, there's never been anything like the rise and rise of a dictator or a tyrant. It is the rise and fall. And with signs before our own eyes now, the Museveni regime is coming to an end. All right. My name is Mordecai Mlisa. Please stick around. Give me a like. Down in the comment section, let me know where you're watching me from and what do you think. I'll truly appreciate it. See you. Bye-bye for now.